Hey guys, so I know I kind of fell off the wagon and took a hiatus from doing these donor profile videos that I started a few months back in December, I believe. So apologies, things got a little bit hectic, but I'm back on the horse. Yay. So for everyone who hasn't seen those videos yet, I've been profiling all of the senators up for re-election in 2018 and outlining who their donors are. You can watch that whole playlist in the description below, so look down here, and you can watch all of them. I've done 9 senators so far. When I started, there were 33 senators up for re-election, but now Orrin Hatch has decided to retire, so we're down to 32. And a number of high-profile senators are up. Elizabeth Warren, Bernie Sanders, Ted Cruz, Dianne Feinstein, Joe Manchin, and presidential hopeful in 2020, Kirsten Gillibrand, the junior senator from New York. Gillibrand has been one of the most interesting senators and Democrats, really, to watch in the Trump era because she's become immensely more progressive than she had been in the past. She had a reputation as a blue dog. But according to GovTrack in 2017, the only senators who had a more progressive voting record than her were Ed Markey of Massachusetts, Jeff Merkley of Oregon, and of course, Bernie Sanders of Vermont. She was even more progressive on voting than someone like Elizabeth Warren last year, excuse me. She opposed more of Trump's nominees than any other senator in addition to her votes, and as of February of this year, she became the 4th sitting senator to decline corporate PAC donations after Bernie Sanders, Elizabeth Warren, and Maria Cantwell, those 3 senators. Cory Booker, also a presidential hopeful, made the same announcement very shortly after not Elizabeth Warren, but Kirsten Gillibrand did. So I have absolutely loved everything she's done during this time. Gillibrand, she's showing wonderful political instincts. She may not be in her bones as progressive as someone like Elizabeth Warren, but she can read the tea leaves a lot better in terms of her political instincts. However, while she's made great strides in the past year or so, her past donors in her career are a bit problematic. Here are her top career donors since 2005. Number 1, Boies, Schiller, and Flexner, nearly $781,000, a law firm that actually represented Gore in Bush v. Gore and donates 90% of its money to Democrats. Davis, Polk, and Wardwell, almost $604,000, another large firm. Corning Incorporated, a tech company that is one of the main suppliers of Apple, and then a slightly big drop-off here, $277,000. Then, here we go, Morgan Stanley, $193,000 as her 4th largest donor. Emily's List, $109K. Another tough one, $182,000, Goldman Sachs, which makes her Gary Cohn opposition a little less genuine. JP Morgan Chase at $176K, that makes 3 of her top 7 donors big banks at this point. Paul Weiss, a law firm, then Blackstone Group, a private capital equity firm, and lastly in the top 10, Sullivan and Cromwell at $156K. So that, with the exception of Corning, the Apple manufacturer, it's all law firms and banks/financial institutions. And when you look at her career industry donors, it tells the same story, except it's a lot more money than those top totals of the individual contributions from those organizations, which means that the money she has received is more spread out among those industries. Her top 5 career industry donors are as follows. Number 1, lawyers and law firms, $6.9 million. Securities and investment at number 2, $4.5 nearly million. Women's issues, $2 million. Real estate, also $2 million. And retired, almost $2 million. But when you look at her individual contributions, it gets a lot easier to see why she was so easily able to turn down corporate PAC money. Again, she did an awesome thing, the right thing, and I commend her for that. Yay, Gillibrand. Awesome. But it was easier to turn down because according to Open Secrets in her career, she has actually only gotten 15.17% of her campaign funds from PACs and 82.81% from individual contributions, which is great. But when you look year by year, cycle by cycle, you can see that the individual contributions were still large, aka they came from rich individuals. In the 2012 cycle, only 8.41% of her donations came from individual contributions under $200. 72.19% came from contributions over $200. Same story in the 2014 cycle, 8.16% under $200, 72.26% over $200. And she raised almost $22 million that way. And in the 2016 cycle, she definitely received more small dollar contributions, but not too much. Nearly 12% were under $200, almost $2 million total, but large contributions were still 70.85%, around $13 million. Again, I want to commend her for doing the right thing, even if she's just posturing for 2020. She's still leaving 20-ish% of her campaign funds on the table, not taking them. And while I'm sure cost-benefit analysis went into this by her team, it still will make a difference. And the not taking corporate PAC money wave is spreading to all corners of the country, and it's even spreading to senators like Gillibrand, who in the past had no problem taking their cash. So this is a positive thing, and hopefully going forward, the donations that she's receiving from small dollars and from individuals, maybe rich individuals, but anyway, we'll keep her beholden to the people. So while those were her past donors, it's definitely going to change in the 2018 cycle. And of course, TYT Politics will keep you updated on her donations. Thanks for watching, guys.